This is the Oh, you ready? I should have told him he was ready. He gave me a thumbs up and I just
All right, let's get it.
Is that closed? No live. All right, you ready?
Let's get it.
3, 2, 1. This is the Ask Me a Question podcast.
Where no question is left off the table.
You might not like the answers to the questions we give.
But if you ask me a question, I'm going to keep the same energy.
What's up, everybody?
Power
We're
to the
back.
people. We back to do maintenance.
Season 2. We're here. Ask Me a Question podcast. Brittany Marie.
Glad you could make it. And your boy Lo.
Yes, and we're here for yet to bless you with another episode.
And
Fish rolls back.
a refreshed time off real quick to just get a couple things right and let it breathe for a second. You know, we had a dope first 15 episodes. It was lit.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So now we back to do damage.
Exactly.
Shout out to Social Media House.
Definitely.
AP on the boards. What up? OMFT TV. You know what I'm
Happy
saying?
to be here. Happy to be back with you guys, our viewers, our listeners, back in our happy place. It's about to be lit, spicy, all of the above tonight.
Yeah, you can tell we ain't been here in a minute because I ain't pour up immediately. So we got to get to that. That's first and foremost because it's been a long day. It's been a good day. You just let me know when to stop pouring because I'm gonna tell you right now I'm heavy-handed, and that's a fact.
Yeah. I gotta watch you. You know.
Absolutely, but you know what you would call it? Concert season. Y'all just came back from Rolling Loud. Yes, how was that?
Yeah, you know, time is going by so fast, but yeah, Rolling Loud was lit as expected. You know, third year in a row. Seen a lot of people as usual. Festival, Miami,
It got nasty out there for
nasty, hot. Do I look tan still? I feel like I still have my tan.
It's possible.
It's possible.
A little bit.
Okay.
You got the gold.
I'm golden.
You got the glow. You know
Yes, that's what's up.
what I mean? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was cool. It was lit. The energy was on point. You know, nothing too crazy. A couple little, things as expected. You got that many people. Something's, going to get a little out of control. But
y'all Rolling Loud vets, so you know how to move.
Exactly. Yeah. So we figured it out. We made a way, and we made it back here safely to New York to be here with you today.
Yes. And after that, this weekend just past Summer Jam, we was doing that. Let me know when to stop pouring.
Okay.
Yeah, Summer Jam.
Yes, Summer Jam. Yes, of course. We were there in the vicinity together. It was amazing. Like, what did you think?
First of all, y'all had the corporate seats with the Illuminati seats. Shout out to AP and Britt with the corporate seats. I was in the nosebleeds in the trenches with the niggas.
No, it's an experience because you know what? For people who go to Summer Jam every year, or every other year, or frequently, should I say, that rain is always a factor.
Yes.
It's rained a lot
Yes.
on a lot of Summer Jams, but
it most certainly
they always have a plan for the rain. And this year, that happened towards the end, right before Cardi was coming out. There was like a thunderstorm warning in the area, so they made everybody, whether you were on the top, bottom, wherever you were, you had to get shelter. Right. And that took about a half an hour to 40 minutes.
Yes.
And then, we were able to go back out. But I will say that the next two acts, like I said, were Cardi and then Tory Lanez.
Yes.
They moved things along. They cut their show. So some people were upset about that.
Yeah. But it was dope.
Yeah, I thought overall Cardi, because this is my opinion, Cardi gave a good performance.
Yes.
I feel like she's definitely more comfortable on stage than I've ever seen her.
Yes.
I've seen her perform for the first time probably 2 years ago when Bodak Yellow was first, jumping.
And I was wondering if she was going to be looking half step because of, the blogs reporting that, she feet was swelling up from all the flying and all that and recovering from surgery and this, that, and the third and all that. But she was moving.
She was moving fine. That's what I'm saying.
Fine.
I seen her perform 2 years ago, and not that she was mediocre or anything, but it was Cardi. It was just like, regular. I mean, this Summer Jam performance, she was shaking. She was back in the...
She was shaking that ass.
In her element.
It was looking good. You was loving it.
Cardi's got a new body. She's loving it. I think she's loving being a mom, and she just feels comfortable being Cardi at this point, and you could just tell, like, her performance was like...
She stepped the show game up. She
good.
definitely stepped the show game up. Her performance is dope. You know what I'm saying? She's playing the right record. She's doing it. She's doing it well. It was a great... performance.
And then on the one hand, I've seen Tory Lanez perform a lot of times.
Right.
And I whether it be Rush or not, like there's certain songs I want to hear when I go to see Tory Lanez. And I guess in all fairness, he didn't get a chance to. I'll say that.
Because of the rain, it's all good. Nevertheless, shout out to Tory Lanez. He'll make it up. He'll probably be at Powerhouse or something like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tory Lanez. It doesn't take away from him as a performer, entertainer. Shout out to Tory Lanez. He still does his thing, so it is all good. Yeah. And the most shocking thing of the whole Summer Jam Sunday was that I didn't see any fights.
Didn't see any fights. Yeah, that's safe to say. I don't think I saw any fights either. They had it controlled for the most part. Is
decent
what I would
crowd.
Say. Yeah,
it was like even walking into the stadium, I didn't feel that usual gritty energy I usually feel. These is concert goers. Shout out to Hot 97. You put together a dope concert.
Yeah, shout out to Ebro, everybody at Hot 97.
Yeah,
it was definitely
Summer Jam still got it for New York.
Yeah, for sure.
Going there, I've been there many years.
And it was a sold out show.
Yeah,
people come from all over to go to Summer Jam.
In this climate, that's dope.
Right, and it's one of the only festivals in New York that, is well known to where, like I said, people come from all over to go to the festival.
Facts.
It's been around for a while. Summer Jam's been a thing. People know people that's been to Summer Jam. It's like a generational thing. Yeah. Traditional. If you're from New York, that's the thing. That's what you do.
Right.
So all around, it was a good time.
Yeah,
I would
good
say.
time. Good time.
Yeah, good time.
Good crowd.
And what else? There's
been a lot going on. Listen, all I gotta say is that there's been a lot going on in the news. We just so happened to scale back for a second to go out there and get everything right. Yeah, we let it breathe for a second. We did 15 dope episodes. Right. So we took time to breathe. But in the mix of us taking that time to breathe, there's been a lot going on. So we don't necessarily have to catch up on all of that because you guys have witnessed it. Shout out to the media platforms out there that cover everything and anything that goes on anyway. It keeps everybody in tune with the culture. But it's been nasty outside in the summertime. Y'all better stay dangerous and just know that you might end up in the fishbowl. It is what it is. It's not personal. Definitely. We're just doing a show for the people and the people that like shows like this. Season 2, episode 16.
Can you believe it? Already episode 16, right?
Absolutely. I believed it from day one because we just like that. We good at what we do. Yeah, we doing what we do. Yeah.
And we're getting a lot of positive feedback, a lot of good feedback. We appreciate it. I mean,
absolutely.
It's definitely growth, and people want to know. These are things people want to know. Our viewers want to know, and obviously hot topics, things going on in our world.
Right. And
so
be clear, people. Just keep the DMs coming. We're gonna get it into the fishbowl. If they don't get into this episode, it'll be in the next episode or whatever the case is. And if it becomes something outdated that we cover, it is what it is. Keep the questions coming because you people fuel the show. And at the same time, there's a lot going on, so it's easy to just get up here and talk that talk. I love to agree and disagree with Britt because she's wrong 90% of the time.
Yeah, never.
And I'm right the other 10% of the time, which makes it good 100%.
I would say it's about a 10%, the opposite way.
The opposite. Okay.
Maybe I'll give you 15.
Okay. That's
15, 85.
That's
more like it.
That's generous of you.
Like
Britt.
15, you're percent right, and 85 me.
So let's set it off like we do. Toast.
Here we go. Cheers. See, we're disagreeing already.
Yes.
Episode 16, season 2, Ask Me a Question podcast. Here we go.
Start it off. Hit the fishbowl.
Because I'm not feeling nice this season. You won't be going first.
Okay.
That.
You changed. Oh, so the fame changed you already. Okay.
You were gonna say that.
AP, just note joking. That the fame changed already. It's gone to her head. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just joking.
She's calling shots.
Listen, this summer is about to be so lit. I can't even begin to tell you. So
yeah, it's gonna get
I'm
lit.
Excited.
And just know when that fishbowl question comes up again about checking DMs, you better be ready. Mm-hmm. Just know that, because I'm sliding.
Low wasn't playing. He's trying to.
I don't forget nothing. I don't forget nothing. Let's get it.
Let me mix this up a little.
Yes. The sips is good tonight. Shout out to Social Media House, Mark, Matt, what's happening? Shout out to Uncle Biz in the spot, DJ Loud Mouse. Played and Phil Showcase.
Okay.
And things.
This question says, does DaBaby's recent scuffle help or hurt his career?
Hard Camp Cold Heart. Hard Camp Cold Heart. Me, Dolo.
So do you want to explain the situation real quick? What happened?
He wasn't Dolo, just for the record. All right, so apparently what happened was, and shout to, all the platforms that have been covering it and everything, because, I do my homework and all that. I seen Cam Cohart go on the Are You Serious Big Facts podcast with Ayo Canseco and spoke about how he wasn't going in there to come at them. He was there. They happened to show up, and then it was a whole different type of thing. It just played out different on camera. Apparently, DaBaby posted a picture of him first and then took it down, and we just so happened to see him saying, look at DaBaby, he a bitch in the store first. Anyway, that led up to DaBaby and his homie / security, whoever it was, putting the paws on Cam Cohart, and they fought throughout the whole Louis store allegedly. And what we saw him on the floor with his pants down and the bloody nose, that was after fighting throughout the whole Louis store apparently. But nevertheless,
he still lost.
Yeah, he took a L, and he was apparently trolling DaBaby from a while back. These are 2 North Carolina artists, by the way. DaBaby's doing his thing right now. Cam Cohart's been making a name in the city. You know what I mean? He's Dude on the rise, like anybody that's on the rise, and the baby's also on the rise. He
So
just
is this gonna hurt or help his career?
Who?
The baby.
The baby's good. Run down, and that's what's gonna.
I can't even say that.
It sets an example. Don't just run down on rappers.
I can't even say the name. Like I can't even say the baby.
The baby, baby on baby.
It's not
the baby.
It's the baby.
The baby.
You're not saying duh.
No, you're just
the baby.
You're just forcing duh.
It's the baby.
The baby.
The baby.
The baby.
No, you're saying the baby. You're like it's.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying it with more finesse.
It's the baby.
You dragging it. I'm just saying it with more finesse. The baby. So, yeah. Like that. But nah, the baby is fine. I think that he should just, continue to just stay on the swivel, stay on alert. Don't let people try to trick you out of your newfound success. And be careful. And he's not, and I could say that calmly without having to add any extra sauce on it, because he's not out here actually, chasing these situations. They came to him and he just reacted. So when somebody's reacting to situations, but it just so happens to get publicized, it is what it is, Hard Cam Cohart, put out your project, put out 1 million videos, and take advantage of this moment. That's what he could do. The other guy called Cam Cohart.
But he'll be forever the guy that got his pants dragged down to his ankles.
Yeah, pick your pants up.
Yeah, you're going. I'm not even elaborating on that. That is what it is.
It is what it is. Shout out to the baby. Okay, let's get to these questions, man. It's gonna be a nasty night. Episode 16, Ask Me a Question podcast. We back. Lux versus Verb. Who you got? And that's going down this weekend, matter of fact.
Yes.
Power to the people. We back to do maintenance.
Well, you battle rap fans that tune into the podcast.
Yeah. It's going for like crack when it came in. Brit. Glad you could make it. It's too bad you won't make it.
I can't.
I got Lux 2-1.
Yeah. I got Lux 3-0. And not that I don't have faith in Verb. I just like
Verb is nice.
I just think Lux, he's gonna be well prepared and everything you expect from Lux.
I like how Verb goes with this thing like, okay, I've battled kings and this is just another night. I'm gonna smoke y'all King Lux. It's like he knows how to sell the fight and boost himself up at the same time, and he's confident with a good reason. He's a seasoned vet. He's dope. Even though I will say this,
so were you thinking that about Cassidy then?
Same thing. Yeah. Same thing. I feel about
promotes
same
himself.
thing in a different way. Cassidy promotes himself with confidence. Yeah, absolutely. But as far as Verb, Verb, you could say what you want. You could say that the Calico battle was what it was. Okay, historical moment for Lux. You could say what you want about the Lux Hollow battle. Lux showed up again. You can say what you want about Charlie Clips Lux. Lux showed up again. You can say what you want about Lux versus Mook in Total Slaughter. Lux took a L. Cool, it happens. Everybody has a bad night. Verb, you have said that.
Wait, Lux took an L against who?
Mook in Total Slaughter.
Some people may say debatable.
Somebody might out there, a Lux fan might, but whatever the general consensus was. Be that as it may. Anyway, Lux is Lux.
Disagrees. I'm just saying.
I mean, it is what it is. Shout out to AP.
I heard people
Peace
say
King.
Debatable.
This is what it is, Queen.
Shout out to Uncle Ra.
Lux is gonna 2-1. Verb is gonna have a dope performance, but Lux is gonna do what he do. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say I'm wrong. I'll come back on here and say I'm wrong. But I got Lux 2-1.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. I got Lux 3-0, but let's see. It should be interesting.
It's gonna be one of those. Definitely is.
Definitely. I like the battle rap culture. It's moving. A lot of things happen for URL as a whole. The app dropped, right?
Yes.
It's just a different.
Shout to Smack. Shout to Beasley. The app is innovative. Obviously, YouTube is doing what YouTube is doing right now, and it's okay. You bob and weave.
Now
you
let me
out a
ask
new
you.
Way.
As a devoted, this is not off topic, but as a devoted battle rap fan,
yes.
Do you as diehard people, fans that were watching it when it was underground, not a lot of people knew about it. Do you get scared that it's becoming so mainstream like that? Too many people will know about it. It'll get watered down, or even now with the app, some people are obviously upset. Do you feel like it's becoming mainstream? Too many people know about URL or battle rap?
I think it's a good thing. I think growth is what any thriving industry sets out to do. Now, watered down would be if, people that are semi-decent and have semi-decent showings just get big battles and big battles and big battles amongst the people who know who deserves what. Because at the end of the day, you could be a big name and take a loss or two and still deserve to be on the table on the chopping block for another big battle because you're proven. Whereas, if a bunch of new people start coming in and start getting opportunities to fight big names and don't show and prove, then that would probably water down the culture. But as far as, more these innovative things like this app and, the fact that the pay-per-views is doing good and everything like that, that's dope. Mm-hmm. I think the battle rap deserves that because at the end of the day, we have yet to see a battle rapper that has transcended into the music. A lot of people don't even know Don Q used to battle.
Right.
And I would say Don Q is a successful artist.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
say that he's established.
Right, for sure.
Successful.
Definitely lyrical.
Sue Surf is a battle rapper that's doing his thing, music-wise too, and in the battles. So, at the end of the day, battling becoming more mainstream would be dope because at the end of the day, in the original era, people would battle to make a name in order to be known for the music. And whether people decide to put out music or not in this era as battle rappers, to be able to be revered on the same scale as musicians, like how we see when they have the cyphers on BET and they'll include battle rappers and industry people, it's dope because they deserve their just due, just like a mainstream artist deserves his just due.
Of course. They should have an awards or whatever. Something I didn't know about battle rap is I didn't know that they could put stuff in their contract that the other opponent couldn't discuss.
I mean,
that's not battle rap
to
me.
They can negotiate what they choose to negotiate. It's what people decide to do because nowadays, for the entertainment purpose, like they say, clout is worth more than money. So somebody will sign a contract. Yeah, I won't talk about such and such, and then talk about such and such. But that moment will be so viral that this person will be wanted to be seen again. They'll want to see that person again. He's just made a name. He just solidified
Goods has
himself.
something in there you can't talk about his daughter. Like, how is that allowed? Like, how are you allowed to put that in there?
Well, Goods has also said that, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can say something about my daughter if you want, but as long as you're not violating, like OD violating, which if that's what it is, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna ask for anything other than that, it is what it is. Some people are like that, and people are entitled at the end of the day because it's still a entertainment thing at the end of the day.
Gotcha. All right, we don't want to get too off topic, but yeah, that was a little,
But we say all that to say this. Lux 2-1. Peace, King.
It's my turn again.
Don't ever throw rocks at the sun. Can't reach it.
I'm always inquiring, learning. I swear I learn more and more about battle rap every day.
Yeah. You definitely surprised me.
This definitely question was meant for me.
Very dope.
Thoughts on possible Chris Brown and Drake collab? Excuse me.
Deuces.
I think it would be fire.
That was probably their best collaboration.
I think that it's great. It's obviously what the people want. We need it.
And let me clarify.
Let's get it.
Drake on the Deuces remix with Chris Brown was probably one of their best collaborations because the joint with Wayne, Drake, and Nicki and Chris Brown on the hook is cool. But Deuces was just a moment. So at the end of the day, Drake killed that verse though. But
and we need a song of the summer. Like we need that song of the summer. Like Meek had, his summer anthems. We need like the Drake and Chris Brown song of the summer.
If it comes in the summertime, then that would be dope. But we were talking behind the scenes. Shout out to my boy AP, AMAQP TV, executive producing the Ask Me a Question podcast live at Social Media House. This is what I wanted to say. Now, the Drake and Chris Brown song will be dope. Even if they did a project, that might be something that would catch people off guard and that would be dope. I'm just talking hypotheticals. But what would be dope for Chris Brown right now from a fan standpoint, what I want to mention is maybe now will be a good time for Chris Brown and Tyga to do another fan of a fan.
Yeah, people. Yeah,
the first one was fucking classic. Both of them was, but the first one was classic. The first fan of a fan was a classic project. It came in at the right time. They were both doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And they're cool. Deuces came from that, even though Deuces was on Chris Brown's that same album with I forgot what project it was on, but Deuces came from that Fan of a Fan mixtape, and that was a dope project. So to see Chris Brown and Tyga do another Fan of a Fan right now would be very lit. I think the culture would stand for it.
They're good. They collab well together, and I think when two people know how to make music together well, it turns out obviously well. They know what sounds good from both of them. Like they know how to stay in their lane and make a good song. Now,
as far as Chris Brown and Drake goes, I think they're both in interesting parts of their careers because they're both very much loved, and in their fans' eyes,
they're loved.
They are, and in their fans' eyes,
they could probably fly up in here.
Thank you.
Trying to get a piece of the Ask Me a Question podcast.
Yeah, they need to fall back. In their fans' eyes, they could do no wrong, but they could steal the summer right now, because right now this is one of them years where there's really an undecided fact of what the song of the summer is. So the fact that picture went up, you know, Chris Brown and Drake might surprise us with something.
Definitely.
So, you know,
your go.
We here for it. Right off the top of the pile. Get this one right here. Oh, right. Lil Reese shits on himself when jumped by goons. What are your thoughts?
You can't even. You're screwing up your face.
Me?
Again, what is
I said that with a straight face.
Like beatings, first of all. This is like the thing to do. The beatings are like going viral. Beatings online, tape. The beatings, but
what it is this. We're in an era where if you feel some type of way about the person in front of you and you're in front of a lot of people, you have to watch out for the one person on the phone that's pointing it in your direction. Because if you see that light come on and his mans is talking to you, you might be getting
recorded. Yeah,
and you might end up on mail on the CC show. But as far as Lil Reese goes, I also saw that somebody put out there that, let's not forget when Lil Reese first got known with Chief Keef and them, you know, those video of him punching some girl up in a hotel. So this is his karma. That's what people want to say. This right here. You don't know what happened to Lil Reese in between then. You gotta understand he's been in the game for a while now, so you don't know what happens in these little small market towns.
Was it really poop? Because in the video that I saw, it just looks like dirt or something back there. You can't tell.
Yeah, because he was on the floor.
Yeah, and there's like mud and dirt and stuff.
Which it most likely could have been because he was sagging, was on the floor. Because you gotta understand, I don't know firsthand, but I don't think that if you robbing somebody and they shit on themselves that you could really stand there and just like take that smell, because shit is a nasty smell.
And it would be more. It wasn't like I expected to see diarrhea. When I read the headlines, I'm like, wow, or to see it coming out, like not to be graphic. And it was just like literally like it looked like he had like somebody kicked him with the bottom of their shoe. It wasn't like nothing crazy.
They were in the dirt though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
so it could have been like a dirt spot. That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't like they made it seem like diarrhea was dripping down his leg.
As far as the Lil Reese thing goes, it just so happens that Lil Reese is just the newest member of the got caught on camera getting jumped or ran down on for this week. You know,
it's somebody else next week is what you're saying.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you know, Lil Reese, stay safe, stay dangerous, you know, but people are getting caught lacking these days. Artists are getting caught lacking these days, and you got to be careful. You got to just respect the fact that you're a public figure of some form of facet, no matter how hot or not you are at this moment, and somebody would like to come up off of your name to try to make a name off of themselves. They don't understand yet that if they don't have nothing else to follow up with it, that it doesn't do nothing for them, but that moment, it actually works against them. But a lot of people that are ignorant and goons don't care. So,
good point.
You got to be careful out here. Don't get caught lacking, especially when you're a gang member, artist. You got a lot of heat on you. Be careful.
Everybody needs to be careful.
Yes.
This is going to be a hot summer, right? So I feel like summer is when people start cutting up. Okay, BET plans to remake the classic movie Set It Off. Are we here for it or not?
Let's talk about it.
I mean, obviously the first one was a classic.
Classic, hands down. No debating.
There's monumental parts of that movie that you just, remember.
Yes, like Jada Pinkett getting scraped to En Vogue.
And every girl secretly looks like, whatchamacallit, under their wig with the cornrows. Like every girl, I feel like.
Let me tell you something.
Looks like that.
When it comes to Jada Pinkett, Jada Pinkett did a thing and set it off, but Jada Pinkett also did her thing.
Like, what's her name? Chloe?
Nah, Cleo was Queen Latifah. Yeah, but Jada Pinkett did her thing and set it off because, you know what I mean, she made it out. But let's not forget that Jada Pinkett had the infamous line in Menace to Society, "Fuck Purnell. You don't owe him shit."
Yeah, that was a good movie too.
All right, so Jada Pinkett is that, and Queen Latifah's in that movie, and Vivica Fox is in that movie. I forgot the other girl's name that was in that movie, the innocent one that got killed.
Right.
And she probably was the first one to die, like after that one robbery in the movie, if I remember it correctly. Right. But as far as a reboot of Set It Off with Young M.A. being the Queen Latifah role and all that, it's cool, but
they have to. I feel like they have to do like all the remakes and life stories and documentaries that they put out, which some are good. Lifetime and BET are good for this type of thing. So shout out to BET, but they do a lot of documentary style stories. That being said, they have to do just due to it. like they have to do to it, as in like portray everybody the correct way. Like if we're gonna get people that never acted before, like that's the only thing that worries me about like somebody like a young MA. Like I want her to do a good job because Queen Latifah is still feminine in her own way. Like you know what I mean? And I feel like young MA is all the way to the left, if you will. So we just have to like. The people, if we're gonna get people that never acted before, they got to do a good job because they have to do. The first one was so good. When you have a movie like that, it's dangerous doing a remake because people remember. Like I said, you're talking about certain points of that movie, and it's like.
I mean, in all fairness, you know, I forgot where was Living Single out by that time already before Set It Off came out. Living Single's probably out by then.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably
so Queen Latifah has some experience acting. Okay.
Right.
All right.
As did Jada was on like Different World and different things like that.
Vivica was semi-new. I don't know if Booty Call was out.
Yeah, I don't know if that was out, but she was definitely
semi-new.
Yeah,
semi-new. Okay, all right.
So we just gotta get people. I mean, that's what it seems like. That's what Hollywood's taking chances on people that are artists. Like you said, we talked about Davies working on this Method Man movie.
Right.
So Hollywood likes to take chances on people who are at least in the industry because I guess they figure like you have somewhat you're able to perform. So if you could get up and perform, maybe you could act a little bit.
It's true.
So.
They gotta act their asses off because that's a classic movie and it really shouldn't be touched. In all honesty, like remakes, I'm always skeptical with certain remakes. I'm skeptical with remakes, period, because certain movies don't need a sequel or a remake. Yeah,
right.
Like that's like somebody remaking House Party at this point in time right now.
Titanic too.
Yeah.
Like Jack can't come back. You know what I mean? Like Titanic is just one and done. First of all, that movie is about 6 hours long, but it's just a one and done. There's no Titanic 2. Like
I don't even know how I feel about How High 2 with DC Young Fly and Lil Yachty. And no knock to them, but
they're talking about a Coming to America, the remaking Coming to America.
That if Eddie Murphy's not
right, I was gonna say
that has to be
Eddie fully involved.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah, all the way. It has to be fully involved and it has to be funny.
Yeah, definitely.
Put Shiggy in there. He's from Queens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good pick. That's good. You modernize it. I think there's been rumors that he wants to put Michael Blackston in.
You could. But it just has to be the storyline has to be funny and it has to be something that's gonna keep people in the theater for an hour 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you. Like I said, the first one was so good. It's got Set It Off 2. Whatever they want to call it, it's got to be just equally as good, if not better. Because people,
for real, like, come on, like like people still use Queen Latifah and Set It Off like references and raps and stuff like that. Like it's such a classic movie. Right. Like it has to, like if you're gonna remake it, it just gotta be lit. That's it. That's all. It's gotta be lit. Says the Ask Me a Question podcast. All right, should Coi Leray make the XXL freshman cover?
What you think? What you thinking?
Coi Leray. Coi Leray's doing her thing. I think Huddy was a good record. I think Everything Cozy 2. I don't know what's a standout record from there that really gravitated to me personally. But since then, she's been putting out other records too. So, you know, I think Coi is one big record away. But at the same time, she's been working. She's been on these festivals. She's been out here making a name for herself. She was on the Spider-Man soundtrack. Coi's doing her thing. If she was to be on the XXL freshman cover, I wouldn't be mad. She's dealing with Trippie Redd right now. That's a high-profile relationship at this moment because Trippie Redd is high-profile. She's Benzino's daughter.
So
and Benzino didn't really go out there and like have to put her on a Love and Hip Hop. She could have been on Love and Hip Hop ATL like 2-3 years ago. We could have been knew who she was. So, you know, her working on her own merit and her pops fucking helped fucking get the Source off the ground, which is a staple in hip hop.
So this is my question then, because this is my problem with things like award shows and magazine covers and certain things that's supposed to measure how successful you are. Is it about your popularity? Is it about you being a lyricist? Is it about what is the criteria to get you on the cover? Maybe that's what I'm confused about.
You gotta have a perfect storm. A mixture of everything.
Because I've seen people who are dope lyricists that are new, up and coming, been out for the last couple of years, and they don't make it. They get skipped over year after year. And then I see somebody, no shade to Coi, but then I see somebody like her who was popular online, but has 2 songs that people know of, and because they're who she's dating, she ends up on the cover. But my man Don, like, has been trying to get on the cover for the longest.
I mean, Don.
So it's like
Don could still make a cover. You know,
no,
I think
at this point he's been out in the that's like Dave East, like getting on. Like,
Don could still be on. Don could still be on the cover, and it could be respected. You know, he had that highly publicized battle with Tory Lanez earlier in the year. And you know, Highbridge. Don is consistent, and Highbridge, the label, is doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to A Boogie. But you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to Coyle Ray, yeah, she's a new face. She's been working her way up. It's not always about that breakout record. It's also sometimes about just
popularity.
Your traction.
How many followers you have on Instagram?
She got some clout. She's doing her thing. You know what I mean? If she was to make it, I wouldn't be mad. But if she don't, she could definitely be a candidate for next year, contingent upon her having some type of standout moments this year. Because right now she's at a bubbling point.
Okay, fair. We'll have to monitor this.
Yeah. So, you know, if Coy makes the cover, that would be cool. Shout out to DJ Loudmouse. He put me on the Coyle Ray. And I've been watching her situation ever since. And she's out here cooking. She's doing her thing. You know what I mean?
We've seen her perform, too, at Rolling Loud.
Yeah. She did her thing at Rolling Loud.
Yeah, and her and Trippie are definitely a thing online. It's cute. It's cute.
Power couple? Goals?
I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
Is Drake's courtside antics too much?
All right, let's talk about it.
I say no. Shout out to Drake doing his thing, supporting his team. He's just so proud to be where he's from, to have ownership of something from where he's from. That's amazing in itself. Look, we cannot hate on this man. Let's stop. I don't think his antics are too much. I just think he's super proud. He's super into it. You could tell he's just he's into sports in general. He's a competitive person. And you almost feel like when you see these pictures of him there, you could feel the emotion through the picture. He's like so into the game. So shout out to Drake for giving us exactly what we want. We want to pick up that paper. We want to pick up that magazine and see Drake's veins popping out of his neck. See him really into it because it's a sport. And at the end of the day, people are watching it because it's competitive and they want to see a good game. And what's not better to see than that eye candy sitting on the side of the court. Shout out to Drake.
You're calling Drake
Champagne
eye candy?
Poppy. He's definitely eye candy. When y'all see Rihanna courtside, that's what you say. So I'm calling him eye candy.
Shout out to Rihanna.
Champagne Poppy.
I feel like when Drake is at the Oracle, he's saying things like, yeah, Steph, we got y'all this game. Y'all better watch out. And I feel like when Drake is at the Toronto Stadium, he's like, yo, dogs, the 16 dogs. You guys are done off, dogs. And
so you say he turns it
up.
up.
Yeah, he turns it up in Toronto when they home. But you know, shout out to Drake. You know, at the end of the day, he has stake in the Raptors, and that's dope. You know, just as a rapper, it's always dope to see artists intertwined in outside ventures, and what better than sports. You know, outside of music, there's sport. It's like music, sports, or sports, music, however order you place it in your life of importance. But
you think his antics are too much or no?
Nah, not at all. He's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? When Spike Lee and certain people was on the sidelines back in the days, I mean, it was what it was. People go for their team, how they go for their team. But when you're a person of influence and when you got a name, you might could get away with a couple things that the average fan can't, that has courtside seats.
Right.
It is what it is. He's actually driving trending numbers to what's going on in the finals. And that's dope.
I feel like as somebody that is looked at as a role model and on such a big scale for his peers, even people in the industry, seeing him take ownership and be in the front line, I feel like it makes other people, his peers in the industry, want to own something, want to be a part of that, and maybe be like, oh, I should invest in, or I should take part in it. So he's definitely inspiring other people to get into that too. You know?
He's a brand, like whether he's a brand ambassador, has stake in the team, all of it is dope.
Yeah,
has a club in the stadium or something like that. It's dope. Yeah. All of that is dope. You know, Drake is being innovative right now. She's definitely wearing that
Toronto proud.
Yeah. And he's still undoubtedly the hottest artist in the game.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so you know when they talking about
debate.
When they talk about the top 5 of the game right now, Drake is in there. So at the end of the day, it's
dope. What did Beyonce say? She's not number 2.
Yeah. Shout out to Beyonce. You know, I don't think you could ever be number 2, Beyonce, until you hang it up. But let's get to it. Ask Me a Question podcast, episode 16. Treyway Shotty is now snitching. What are your thoughts?
I don't know much about this, so you'll have to enlighten me.
Well, apparently it's been reported, allegedly, that Shotty from Treyway might be talking and giving up information on affiliated gang members. And now I don't know what has been 100% confirmed. It's a rumor at this point. But one thing I will say is that as of recently, he's been most notably known for saying we don't bend, we don't fold, we don't break. It's fucking Treyway. So if it was to come out that he was,
then it turns out to be a lie.
Cooperating, yeah, it would be.
I think as this keeps developing though, the 6ix9ine thing and the trial, and he's eventually gonna have to take the stand. We're gonna see more and more stories of people affiliated with that crew that coming out saying this, that, and third, because obviously they're cooperating for a reason. They want less of time.
Absolutely, and
it's just the beginning.
Yeah, the whole thing is an unfortunate situation at the end of the day because 6ix9ine had a promising situation. Whether you said his trolling was too far or not, it was all a promising situation. But a lot of people don't know what was what or what was going on behind the scenes. Apparently, there was a lot of activity going on behind the scenes, and at the end of the day, what was fueling it? But apparently, drugs and music. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that situation. But if Shotty comes out as being a rat, then, credibility's out the door.
Right.
As they say. True. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But nevertheless, prayers for all of those people
involved.
Yes. We don't wish jail on nobody on this side.
It's my turn?
Yes, your go.
Let's mix it up a little bit. Okay. Cardi B defends Young Miami for Lil Yachty writing rumors. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, apparently the writing of Lil Yachty wasn't a rumor because he apparently wrote on the Act Up record for Young Miami.
We're referring to the Act Up song by City Girls.
Right.
Young Miami raps on that track.
At the end of the day, there's people that think that if you don't write, then you're not, credible. You don't deserve to be in this conversation, that conversation. I think you could ask Young Miami right now if she cares about being in the conversation of the top 5 best females, and I don't think she gives a good damn.
Yeah.
She's getting her bag. She's moving crowds. People like her music. People like the City Girls music. They're one of the most talked about female artists in the game right now. They're doing their thing. And, at the end of the day, it's in tradition of the Trinas and the Kims and,
I think that
it is what it is.
As she gains success, that song right now is extremely successful. It's
right.
everywhere. You can't go anywhere. It's been, like I said, just coming back from the festival. It's in rotation heavy, and it's successful. So people are gonna find anything. They see how she's holding it down.
Right.
JT still being away, and some people are probably like, "Wow, like how did this happen? How is she doing this?" And so people right now are finding any way to hate. And I think Yachty doing that interview didn't help necessarily.
Right. At all.
People didn't have to know that. But
and you got to think too. You got to look at it from I look at it from a perspective like this. Like Yachty is getting money. He's doing his thing. Was it a clout chasing type of move from Yachty to do that to remain relevant?
Maybe.
It could be looked at as that because
that song is fire right now. So of course he wants his credit too. He's probably sitting back like, damn, I wrote that and nobody knows. Like
behind the scenes, they probably would have to hash that out. I don't know if they might have spoke on that. Like, yo, you didn't necessarily have to go put that out there. Now you got these people on my back for this, that, and the third. But be that as it may, at the end of the day, when it comes to the whole lyrics versus entertainer standpoint in music, it's really what you make it. I look at certain people like, okay, if I found out that Nas had ghostwriters or Kendrick got ghostwriters or, Jay-Z had ghostwriters or Biggie had ghostwriters or Pac had ghostwriters, I would look at it a little different, but I still wouldn't take away from the presentation. Now, people are entitled to feel like if you didn't write it, you're not this, and that, but, music is music, and music business is music business. And, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it wasn't a good song, nobody would listen to it.
And JT's coming home soon.
Yes.
Shout out to City Girls too, right?
Free JT till she free.
Yeah.
And when she come home, they're gonna continue to do their thing. And I hope that what they did for JT is the same way the Migos did for Offset, which is when Young Miami's out here getting money, she put money aside for JT out of them bags, which I think they probably did. She's gonna probably come home to something nice.
Period.
Period. Looking at the way Quality Control move, they move in a family type of aspect. And
you feeling all right? The Tito's
no, because
Tito's got your mind loose.
No, because what's crazy is I always see people talk this whole writers and entertainer thing, and it's like when people make a stint about it with certain people, it just looks like you're just looking to discredit somebody. Let them live. She's young. They're young. They're doing their thing. Like, if she didn't write that part, but she delivered it. Who really cares in the grand scheme of things? I don't think people are looking at Young Miami as, lyricist of the year, and that's okay. Because I like what she delivered. I like her. I like the lyrics in the song, how she delivered.
You like her. You like the way she looks.
She cool. She cool. She not too she don't got the OD big booty, but she got
she's
nice.
moderate. She looks real natural.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And I think
she's sweet. I feel like she comes off sweet too. Like I seen her perform, and she's like shy, but she's still performing. I think it's cute.
I think she dating the producer Southside.
Is she?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, she good money. Yeah, she a pretty girl. Shout out to Young Miami, and I like her swag on the records. She do her thing. So shout out to her and Cardi B. Let them do their thing, whether they have assistant writers.
Cardi with the braids.
Yeah. I like Cardi with the braids. I've seen Cardi in the clubs before the blow up, and she was everything that she says on these records. She ain't got time for none of that, and she will run down.
You go. That was my question. I think I just asked. It's your turn.
No, that was my question.
I said no. You just see Cardi defends Young Miami little.
No, yeah, that was you. My bad. The Tito. Blame it on the Tito.
Tito got my man slipped.
Ask Me a Question podcast episode 16, season 2. Ja Rule says he's planning on executing another festival after the Fire Festival backlash. Don't cut me off when I finish the question. You going or not? First of all, I'm not going. Second of all, I would go if the first go around is decent and I like the lineup, which is what we do with any concerts. But as far as Ja Rule goes with this whole Fire Festival thing, he explained himself on the Breakfast Club, and that's cool. You explained yourself. And, you might have got backlash on it, but in order for you to redeem yourself, and if you're choosing to go in that direction, first of all, the lineup has to be dope. People are going to talk about the setup and whatever accommodations you bring for people, in the package that you're offering people to buy into. But if the lineup is dope, then whatever else is included in it, like he was talking about something like he was going to do like themes going to be fire and sun and water and ice, and he's gonna try to go to different places.
God or something.
The 5 elements of something he was saying. I don't know what it was verbatim that he said, but the point I'm trying to make is
just stick to the tradition of what a regular festival is and stop doing too much. No peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No
that's crazy.
Tents or whatever he was trying to do last
That's crazy.
time.
I'm not staying in a tent to go watch a festival. I want to stay at a hotel. If I'm out of town.
Did he what? Like what? This is not the Jim Jones.
Right.
Like what?
If I'm gonna do some Mother Nature shit, I don't want to include Mother Nature with my music and like indulging.
Yeah, Ja Rule needs to not do too much. Stick to the basics of what a festival is, and I think his name alone can get people out there, can get people to go. But
he could pull it off.
He's got to redeem himself.
The thing, he could pull it off. It just don't do too much of the extra.
Trying to have fire breathing at the festival. He's gonna have a whole lawsuit on his hands at the festival.
Yeah, my eyebrows got burnt off.
Exactly, something crazy is gonna happen. Like that's not what they have at the festival. I'll be the first one to tell them that's not what they have at the festival. That's not what they have at the festival. Water bottles.
Ja Rule, Ashanti Lloyd, y'all go on the road. Who could they go on the road with right now that's doing their thing?
That maybe it's from their era that was bubbling when they were bubbling, so that when they're doing those string of hits, that person could do that string of hits.
Lil Mo.
Can you live with it?
Yeah. Fab.
Yeah, of course.
And what
Lloyd.
About? Yeah, of course. Well, Ashanti Lloyd. I said Ashanti
Bobby
Lloyd.
Valentino. Not so much.
It's kind of controversial. He's had some red tape around him lately. He might need to redeem himself.
What's your story?
Now he got bangers. Bobby Valentino got bangers. When we leave
here, we're playing Bobby. We'll play all the Bobby Valentino. This is what we do.
Slow down was my shit. Shout out to Bobby Valentino. I'm just saying he got to redeem himself right now. Right. Yeah, you don't need to put Ja Rule next to Bobby Valentino at this point in time and then fire some type of festival type of habit. The blogs are gonna chew that shit up.
No, I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not comparing them. I'm talking about the blogs. Their name on a bill in the festival atmosphere. They would chew it up because of just the shit that they've had their name attached to within the last 6 months to a year.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Ja Rule, we'll have to see.
Good luck, Ja.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I rock with Ja Rule. He's doing this.
It's getting down to the wire, y'all. That's why it's getting harder to grab.
It's getting down to the wire. How much time we got? What we looking like?
Gotta wrap it up.
Huh? All right. 2 more questions. Let's get it.
Lil Durk turned himself in for attempted murder.
Oh, man.
Wow. This kind of breaks my heart, I have to say. Because, a couple times I was about to have the opportunity to interview Lil Durk. And for whatever reason, like scheduling wise on his end or my end, we didn't correlate it. Or talking to his people, we didn't correlate it. And that was always because when you like research people or, see certain people, like the type of crowds they're around. That was always like a thing is like, you have to be careful or just tread lightly when you're in this business and be sure where you're at. If you're going somewhere to get an interview or an exclusive, you have to be careful.
Right.
And so when I hear something like this in the headline, he turns himself in for murder. It's like, that's not what you want to even believe about somebody like that. Attempted murder. Let's clarify that. We have to say allegedly. We are not, putting this crime on him. But even still, for that to be speculation, somebody like my whole thing about our culture, without going off topic, and I'm going to let you answer, is just that things like this are happening to people. Like we have it. I feel like our generation has it backwards. I feel like people of older generations, they worked super hard to be famous and they were grateful when they're famous. And then once they were famous, they may have had problems with like drugs and like substances back in the day. That was the thing. Our generation has problem once they're on of staying out of the streets. It's like the craziest thing to me that you get on, you have a certain amount of success and then you want to be back in the streets. You still want to be a gangbanger. That's what our generation does.
Snoop had a close call when he first came out, when he had to face that case with the shooting that happened early on with Snoop. And, certain people, we saw that kind of early in the early 90s with certain people, but he wasn't a repeat offender. He, aside from being engulfed with the whole death row situation, he wasn't a repeat offender at that time. He was grateful for his innocence and he continued to do what he did. As far as the Lil Durk situation, he's not necessarily somebody that's repeatedly in the news for a bunch of negative stuff. I see him around Meek Mill a lot. I see him putting out his music, his records. They do decent on radio to a certain extent. He's not one of those people that's like mainstream Durk. Like Durk is one of those that puts out music when he puts it out. He has a cult following. He goes on road when he goes on road. He does features with a lot of people. He knows how to stay relevant. All around. More than likely, you ask people about him in the industry, they'll speak good on him. So he doesn't have a tarnished name. This is an unfortunate situation, and it just goes to show that, there's no such thing as 1 foot in, 1 foot out when you're already successful. And people who consider Lil Durk somewhat successful, he might not have had 3-4 platinum albums. This is a different era. Yeah. He has a lot of promising stuff in his future. He has outside businesses, like he spoke about owning trucks and different outside ventures that he was only granted because of the success he had in music. So it's unfortunate to see what's going on with Lil Durk. Prayers go out to him, but if he's found guilty, he's gonna have to do some time, and it will be very unfortunate because
his career might be ended at that.
Yes, but if he's still young, so even if he does a couple years and comes out when he's 29, 30, you think he'll get that much time?
Attempted murder is like up there. That's like on the top of the list. Like,
so it might be a rap for him.
We've seen crazier things happen. Max B's coming home and he was sentenced to 75 years. So crazier things happen. You never know. Let's just hope the best. We're praying for him, especially if he's an innocent man. And again, allegedly. And we're just hoping things work out and come out positive for Lil Durk.
It's just a message once again to all you rappers out here that's got some type of clout doing your thing in any type of winning position. In order to stay in that winning position, you got to just distance yourself from all of these type of things. There's no doubling. There's no double back. Long story short, there's no double back. You either in the industry or you in the streets. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out because it's going to have a different type of cause and effect end of the day. So prayers for Lil Durk. And I got the last card. I'm going to go up under the pile. I'm going to go for this one right here. Keep it in Nipsey Blue fashion. Flip this one over right here so Britt don't read it because she's sneaky. All right.
What?
Claremont twins post mugshot photo shoot pics after recent sentencing. Are they clout chasing?
Absolutely.
And I had to say that about you before, just for ratings. But
absolutely, they're absolutely clout chasing. This girl's doing time, about to do a year. I think a little less, a year or roughly that time
for
Allegedly, well, no, she did. She's gotten found guilty.
Fraudulently using somebody's information that died that she might have had sexual relations with.
Right,
that
she did. She was prostituting herself and met up with a guy, and he ended up dying or overdosing on whatever drugs he was on. And while he was dead or in the room, she like pickpocketed him or something, and then went and used his credit card.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Feds tracked her down.
When it comes to the Claremont twins, and the fact that they've worked with Kanye West and they're part of our culture. They've been on the Bad Girls Club, and they have somewhat of a name.
Did you see them on the Bad Girls Club?
I never really watched it like that, but I went back and caught some clips because of
Google that.
Yeah. I saw them on the Easily Offended podcast. Shout out to Mook, shout out to Biz, shout out to Matt. I saw that and did some homework on them. At the end of the day, this should be just an example to a lot of aspiring young girls out there that want to be models or want to be public figures, influencers, whatever the case is. You look at the Claremont twins, they're beautiful. They've worked with somebody like Ye. You would think that, after being on TV and this, that, and the third, that, they just got money and all that. But at the end of the day, sometimes people succumb to different choices in order to upkeep with a lifestyle that they want to live or a lifestyle that they choose to show. I don't want to take nothing away from the Claremont twins and anything they got going on in the future. I wouldn't mind interviewing them. I just want to say,
what'd you ask them?
I would ask them.
What's it like to rob somebody?
I wouldn't ask them not like that.
What's it like to get plastic surgery?
I would ask them what's their strategy.
What's it
forward.
like now that they're light skinned and not brown?
They're cute.
No, that's why I said Google what they used to look like on the Bad Girls Club. They've had a ton of plastic surgery.
A lot of plastic. And that's another thing that's just like, we're starting to see a lot of people come forward with the whole, this is what happened to me after the fact. Now I got to get this done. I got to get this redone. And I'm having bad side effects from these enhancements. They might just be, they're just one of many at the end of the day. But, let them be an example to the girls that are coming up that want the lifestyle that they see, that just know that it comes with certain things if you choose to go a certain path, because their path is not necessarily what people have to go through. They went through what they went through because of the decisions they made. It is what it is. They're wearing it how they're wearing it, and they're carrying it how they're carrying it. When she comes home, what they do from there is what they do from there. It is what it is.
Definitely. Let's go. And there you go. There you have
go.
It. Episode 16.
Episode 16, season 2. We back. Keep them questions coming in.
For sure.
It's a lot going on in the culture. Yes.
We appreciate you guys for listening.
Yes. We appreciate y'all for tuning in all the time. There's a lot going on. We want to hear from y'all. We're going to give y'all our feedback, unbiased, unfiltered, unadulterated, and we're going to set it off for y'all. And Britt's gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real.
No, we're gonna keep it spicy each and every episode. You know how we do. This is the Ask Me a Question podcast,
where no question is left off the table.
You might not like the answers to the questions we give,
but if you ask me a question, I'm gonna keep the same energy.
Tune in next week, everybody.
Grimy Zoe's dressing G-Star.
Shout out to social media house. Tongue twister tonight. Damn.
Mark, man, what up?
All right.